Good day, good day. Let's talk about the Dunwich Horror. Woo! Viewer's Choice Review, January 2025 pick. Stay tuned, that's coming up here on Drew's Book Reviews. All right, let's talk about the Dunwich Horror by H.P. Lovecraft. And of course, don't forget to hit that like, comment, subscribe. You know the routine. And link down below will be the Dragon's Den Discord. So, the Dunwich Horror is set in the fictional town of Dunwich in New England, USA, where there is a town of people in a terrifying situation where crazy demonic stuff is happening on a consistent and regular basis with these absolutely terrifying creatures. And of course, in classic Lovecraftian style, we've got to have come into there Cthulhu. And of course, Yog Sothoth, the father of Cthulhu, or at least that's my impression of it. The Dunwich Horror is definitely one of those classic Lovecraftian stories where the element of the unknown is what's driving the fear into what is going on. One of the characters in this book, he's born as a child that kind of has a demonic appearance that grows at a rapid pace, far faster than any child should. And there's these scary, weird things going on. Houses are being destroyed, cattle mutilated, and the horrors are creeping upon us during the nights, and nobody is quite sure what is really going on. And of course, the Necronomicon comes in, which is this book of ancient demonic powers and sorcery that is a classic reference in many of H.P. Lovecraft's story. The Dunwich Horror as a whole is considered a classic of Lovecraftian horror, as one of the most common stories told. At least that is my impression. Overall, what I'd say about the Dunwich Horror is it definitely has that classic Lovecraftian horror element to it, but it's not one that I found personally extremely terrifying. But while saying that as well, it's strange how these things can just stick with you in your mind and your thoughts, and you'll always remember them. They have that impression upon you. And that's something that I think Lovecraft has excelled upon, is leaving that impression with you, even if you as the reader aren't really feeling at that fear and terror that the characters are meant to be feeling in that. I mean, let's face it, Cthulhu is a classic demon of Lovecraftian horror, and it's one that comes up in a lot of pop culture as a whole. It's not one that's just, only in Lovecraftian works. Cthulhu has become a pop culture icon in horror circles, and I got to admit, the Cthulhu monster is a terrifying beast. I don't think I'd want to encounter this monster on my own. In terms of the monster in the Dunwich Horror, it is described as this creature that's kind of part human and part monster with tentacles and eyes and mouths everywhere. And there are so many different interpretations of what this terrifying Lovecraftian monster looks like. But overall, the monster itself is actually pretty scary, and I can't deny that. It is a terrifying creature that I personally would not want to encounter. In terms of the Dunwich Horror itself, definitely it's something that we're going to remember. When I think Lovecraft, I think Dunwich Horror and the cosmic horror and that kind of thing, and Cthulhu, which will always stick with me. I don't know that I have a whole lot more to say about the Dunwich Horror specifically. It was an enjoyable read, absolutely. I did like it. It's not one of those books that I would say is a must-read. If you're a Lovecraft fan, go for it, because it is classic Lovecraft. But whether it's one that I would just up and recommend to you, I don't read a lot of horror as well, so I don't know what to tell you. Personally, I think I like Edgar Allan Poe a little bit more. But Edgar Allan Poe kind of really, for me, sets the fear mode much better than H.P. Lovecraft, kind of sets the tone better in terms of the writing style. And maybe I'm kind of out to lunch on this, I don't know. I could be the guy that's on the outside with that. Maybe most people think Lovecraft sets it better. It's hard to say. It's not that Lovecraft is bad. I think he did a decent job kind of setting the tone. Just for me, it wasn't to the point where I could say that I really felt the fear and the terror of these characters within this story. It just doesn't have that same feel, I guess, that we see from some of the other works out there with things like Edgar Allan Poe, in my personal opinion. But overall, I would say that, the Dunwich Horror is still a good read, still enjoyable for what it is, especially if you're into the whole Lovecraftian horror. The monsters, at the very least, are things that we will never forget when reading H.P. Lovecraft. They will stick with you for a long time. They certainly have stuck with me even before I read the Dunwich Horror. I think this is the second time reading through, to be honest, because I do have an H.P. Lovecraft book as well. One of these Canterbury Classic collections with H.P. Lovecraft as well, and the Dunwich Horror was also contained in that one. So those are just my thoughts on the Dunwich Horror. Like, I don't have a lot to say about it, honestly, but still one of those books that I'm glad that I read. And, I'll always look back and remember it as a memorable read. So in terms of, the story itself and the writing, I kind of gave it a 3 out of 5. And I know it's weird to say one that will stick with me and always be remembered, but a 3 out of 5. That's kind of one where I'm sitting on that. So not amazingly fantastic, but not absolutely terrible. Anyway, those are just some of my thoughts on the Dunwich Horror. And, let me know what you think down below. I'd love to hear from you. Like, comment, subscribe. You know the routine. Check out the link below for the link to the Dragon's Den Discord. And as always, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, keep on reading. Bye.